if you think a bluff charge is about to happen, make yourself big, wave your arms, and talk calmly to the bear, which I think like kind of counterintuitive, like those kind of contradict each other.
Hey,
But that's
calm
what the
down.
list says.
Hey,
Hey,
let's talk about this.
hey,
Let's use our words,
why
okay?
don't we not, you know?
Could you, well, slow down, buddy. Slow down. Uh, Hi, I'm Gabe,
And I'm Cat, Ranger Cat specifically.
and we're
And we're
the ghouls next
Ghouls
door.
next door.
Except one of us is the bear next door,
Yeah,
maybe.
who has very much had a lot of cocaine.
I had fun, okay?
Oh, you just had a good night.
Yeah. Mommy doesn't get drunk, she just has fun, okay?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's literally what the bear was in this movie. Cause like she had bear
She
babies,
just
you
had
know.
bear. She just had
She's
babies.
like,
I don't know if we have to clarify. I think we knew they weren't a different species of babies. I think we knew
you
they were
sure they
bears.
weren't like? I mean, it's a movie called Cocaine Bear. We could have had weird hybrid situations happening that we don't need to know about.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a weird movie. That's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
It's a weird movie, but very fun.
Yes. Welcome to the Ghouls Next Door media literacy show from a horror lens. We explore the real life, historical, and comedic horrors in our cinematic fears. And it is a new month. It's a new vibe. And we are going out this year with some fun. And we're talking about some dangerous animals. We're talking about killer animals. Uh, whether or not you should be afraid of them, what you should do when you encounter them. Some are questionably not actually scary.
Yeah.
Bears are such a tease. That's my hot take is that for bears, when I see them, it's just like, can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? That's how I
Yeah.
feel about the forbidden dog, which is bears,
Which is a
because you
bear.
can't pet
Okay.
them, but they
We
look like
shouldn't.
you absolutely should. They look
Yeah,
like you
they're
should give
super
them a
cute.
hug.
They're just little guys, you know,
They're just
little
little
babies.
guys. They're so fuzzy, and they got the
Mhm.
cutest little faces. Like it does. Like until they become murderous, like they really do look like they could be your friend. They look like cartoon characters.
Yeah. Well, that's why they model children's toys after them. Like a lot
Yeah.
of it's like your teddy bear. You know what I mean? The whole point is because bears are stinking cute, but they like you really don't want to. In most cases, be like one on one with a bear in
Yeah.
any situation. Generally, like you'll probably be fine unless it's certain kinds of bears. Some bears are mean.
I think it's all about respect, and that's probably what we'll find in the majority of these films is that's just how nature works, right? You just got to respect it. Whether that's respecting like mother nature so that like
Mm-hmm.
understanding environmental disasters and such, but also like the animals in nature and understanding them, giving them their space, respecting that it's their land, we're just living on it,
Yeah.
right?
And like not come up in their space and be like, "This is mine now," because of course they're gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna be like, "What are you doing here, friend? You don't. You live in the houses. You made us stay here, so don't come up in here." That's why it's like they're justifiably angry.
I will say, I saw a bear.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a black bear. Rather close. Pretty close. Scarily close. Because I was visiting in for my brother's wedding in Tennessee. And we were driving
Mm.
through, they have like a park and it's like a natural reserve, but you drive through it. And all these people were like stopping and it was like traffic. And we were like, what's going on? And then when we get closer, we realized it's because there's just a black bear just roaming around. And my cousin gets out of the car to go take a picture of it closer. And
No.
my mom was like freaking out reasonably. Um, yeah, and I saw it. I saw it from where
I
I
feel
was.
like I would love to see a bear like in theory, like
Yeah.
in like the simulation of life. I would love to see a bear like from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. I don't need it to come closer to me. I don't need it. I
No.
technically don't even need. I think I can just follow that lady on TikTok and let that be my bear
Yeah.
experience for life.
Let the bear open the
Um,
door and close the door.
yeah,
Just hang out with
and then
that
I
lady.
love that bear specifically for her. Like, have the best bear time over there. But I don't personally need to see a bear.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video of a bear like literally eating the inside of someone's car.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, how do you get that covered by insurance? But like, I just, it's just really funny. Like, if you were like, get out of the car and go take a picture of the bear. No, that bear comes near you. You need to go. You need to, well, you technically shouldn't run because then it'll try to eat you.
Yeah.
But you should
There's
definitely like
different things
not
you could do.
approach the bear. You should be
No, you
like,
should
no
try to
bear,
not.
hi.
You should very hard try not to be near bear or close to
Yeah.
bear. But
Let the bear live its
I
life,
really
you
do
know?
get it though. Like I 100% get like how people can get got by bears because it really does set you up for failure because you see all these
Yeah.
videos of bears and they like, oh, they're swimming in this person's pool. I've seen a bear
Yeah.
on a swing.
Just being funny
You see
guys.
bears just like
Yeah.
like laying on their big bellies. You know, like I get it. I could see how you could absolutely like turn off the
Yeah.
appropriate response, which is what we see quite a few characters do. Because it's not. I
Yeah.
just don't think unless it starts making sounds or it charges you or it does scary bear things,
It's really cute. You're like,
you
oh,
really
look
don't get
bear.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is a trick. That's a trick. The Lord
That's
did
how I
it.
feel about big cats, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about
Yeah,
at
we will
one
talk about
point.
big cats. On this series, yeah, we're going to be talking about some films uh, that are, I mean, definitely the first two are comedy,
Mm-hmm.
but some that are arguably comedy.
Yeah.
If you think
Some
about it.
comedy, some a little serious, some
Yeah,
mostly comedy.
yeah. I think yeah, because we've done it. We've talked about bears. Actually, we talked about being stranded in the wilderness, and we covered that one film that I really hated, where they got stuck in the
Yeah, and
woods.
the guy uses his penis to tell directions.
Yeah,
That's a big thing. Not
not
literally,
literally.
obviously. It's not a porn. But he is just very full of himself and
Yeah.
thinks he knows where everything is.
Yeah, it's just his confidence.
Mhm.
So definitely check out our isolated in the wilderness episode because it's pretty funny, but also we go into depth about just like how horrifying that was. I still to this day have never seen Revenant. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the what was it, the Bear Man Grylls documentary? Is that the one
Oh,
where he was
okay,
like
okay. It's a
friends with the
documentary.
bears and then the bear ate him?
Oh. I hope that doesn't happen to the lady with the doors.
It was like it was like he was living out there like with them
Okay.
and it was a
Okay.
mistake that he
Yeah.
made. Like
Yeah.
I like similar to how there's this understanding that most likely Steve Irwin would be like you should forgive the stingrays and that he
Yeah.
holds no grudges to them, right?
Yeah.
I believe he would also feel the same way to be like, no, it is not the bear's fault. We should not be in there,
Yeah.
you know, or like there's just certain things that you're taking that risk when you're in
Mhm.
that environment. And you know, people who befriend lions and all kinds of things like that's just how it is.
Yeah. It's
It's a
always a
risk.
risk because
They're
they're just
wild.
wild animals that you're befriending.
Yeah.
Like, might not have the same like. That's my best friend. Like, if they're hungry enough, your own cats in your house will eat you, and that's like they're right at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm gone, you might as well. But like, animals are animals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People will even eat each other as
People
animals at the
do.
end of the day if put into certain scenarios.
Yeah,
So.
there's a Ghouls for that. We did Donner
Mhm.
Party. We've done it. Not eat people. We've covered people who eat people.
Yeah, the
We
ghouls
have
have
done.
not eaten a human.
Gonna come
This
out
is
right
true.
on record right now.
Yeah,
Say the ghouls have never eaten people.
yeah,
Some of these ghouls don't even eat meat.
yeah,
So actually both ghouls very rarely. So
yeah.
um yeah. So we were talking about spooky animals and again bears. There's so many different bears out there too because like we're going to talk about black, brown, and polar bears a little bit. I don't know if you have more
Hmm.
bears, but not polar bear, panda bears are adorable.
Yeah, they're little babies. They're not eating
They roll
people.
down the hill in the snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine if you got like a panda bear upset enough, it could. But like, I don't
I
think they're
don't
like
think they would be
actively
bothered.
pursuing. Yeah.
And they're kind of like, they're like always high. So I feel
Yeah.
like,
Just little babies.
yeah, they're just like, out of all the bears and koalas, which are not bears, but they're called that for reasons.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I didn't make
What
them.
a journey we're going down. Uh,
Just like this film, just like this film.
yeah.
So, if you haven't guessed, we're going to be talking about Cocaine Bear, which is a recent film.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it was good. It was fun.
it was good. I will fight anybody.
Yeah.
um,
I made an IMDb account to give it a better rating.
aw,
That's like a true story. I was like, this does not deserve a 5. It was hilarious. It was such a fun movie. Like, who's taking time out of their day to be like, I hate this movie?
yeah,
It was like you went into the film called Cocaine Bear and were like, I'm gonna have like the most thought provoking, really serious time, and that's my expectation going into this movie. It's not. It's
yeah.
called Cocaine Bear. It's an absurd premise. It is like based on something that actually happened. It's just a fun time.
I just want to,
You don't think while watching Cocaine Bear.
I just want to
Um,
pronounce it like Schmidt from New Girl. Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Cocaine Bear. Yeah, I agree.
That's allowed
Cocaine
from this
Bear,
point on.
directed by Elizabeth Banks, which is like, for me, once I heard that it was directed by her, I was like, oh, this is gonna be brilliant.
Yeah.
No doubts, no doubts. Like, I'm all in that this is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be fun, and
Hmm.
like I could trust that process, right? I could trust this
Yeah.
whole experience, and so yeah, and I was right. So so originally so the reason why we're doing the animals is because we saw what we're covering next week was coming out, and it seemed really fun. And then I was like, let's do a bunch of scary ones. And then Kat was just like, we could finally watch Cocaine Bear because we couldn't convince
Yeah.
other people to watch it with us because it is so silly. And I was like, I don't understand how anyone could just not want to like waste time of their life.
Yeah. I've been pitching
Watching this.
Cocaine Bear since it came out.
Yeah.
I was like, not like for the ghouls, just like for life.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to watch this movie. It sounds so funny. I think it like multiple friend engagements. I was like, we watch Cocaine Bear, and everyone was like we could.
Yeah.
I think Isaiah specifically was like, I like would, but also
Same
so
thing with Mike.
we finally did it.
Yeah. We're finding excuses to watch things we want to watch and cover them on the Ghouls. So Cocaine Bear, for people who are interested in what it was about, although I think you get it
The
from
title
what I
speaks
just
for
said.
itself.
But here you go. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. And then later, intentionally ingesting cocaine.
Yeah,
And
it is addictive once.
yeah, I,
It once.
I mean, imagine. So it is based on a true story of a bear that did this. Though,
Yeah.
besides just that prompt of like, what if a bear had cocaine? That's pretty much it. As far as like reality goes.
Yeah, the real story is like not funny. It's sad. It's like
Yeah.
it was about a real bear who was just like living his life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an American black bear and ingested cocaine after it fell from a drug smuggler's plane, similar to like what we see at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't murder anyone. It just OD'd, which is sad.
Yeah.
And the Associated Press wrote about it in 1985. So it happened in the 80s. Like it was like a whole real thing. And then essentially the smuggler died, like we see in the beginning of the movie, the same way. He put too much cocaine in his bag and he fell because you can't carry all that cocaine safely from the sky. And essentially tried to distribute it through the air so that like it couldn't be traced and then go back to get it. But he essentially died, and then 4 months later the bear was found and they were like, wow, there's a lot of cocaine around this bear, we should do a biopsy. And then they found out that was in fact the cause of death. And Banks actually told Variety that the reason she wanted to do Cocaine Bear is because she saw it as an opportunity to give the bear its own point of view and had a deep sympathy for the bear after reading the original reports in 1985. So, like, she wanted to give it a revenge arc, which I love.
Yeah, rewrote its history for sure. Definitely made it
Mm-hmm.
an unsung hero. And like, uh, it's, you know, when we're hearing Black Bear has cocaine, right? It's just like, okay, this is for 45 minutes is the epic apex predator, right? It is the king of all predators for 45 minutes before its heart gives out.
Yeah.
And then it's just dead.
Yeah.
But it's going out swinging. So I think that's really cute that that's how Elizabeth felt. So the film is such a quirky, I don't want to say dry humor, but it's like it's weird. It's funny to me that it's in Georgia because it's giving me North Dakota. It's giving me Fargo, in
Mm-hmm.
that it has that same just like small town, kind of bizarre people who take everything in stride. Like it's yeah, like absurd things are happening and everyone's super bizarre, and that really added to it. I think
Yeah.
if if it was approached in any other way, right, where maybe they were trying to be too serious, or even if they tried to go super camp with like, um, you know, Sharknado or something, you know, they could have gotten
Mm-hmm.
even more silly. And it was just this really good blend of like these characters. We spend just like a little bit of time, and you know that each one of them is fated for something awful. And they do,
Yeah.
and even as they're actively being like mauled, they're still hilarious. Like it is
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm getting eaten, my legs, they're eating my legs, like, you know. It's so
Yeah.
goofy.
And they were all like each very complex characters. Like they did what we liked with I think it was the girl with all the gifts, where you had like one character who like didn't say much, but then they give like a whole history with just a few lines. Like you kind of get
Mm-hmm.
that with this, and that like they have like these really elaborate backstories for fodder. You know,
Yeah.
like in this movie, they are here to die at the hands of Cocaine Bear. But like they have these elaborate histories that we're presented with that really, I agree, it really added to the experience.
Yeah, I think it's funny because as absurd as they are, they all did kind of feel realistic. Like I absolutely believe that these people exist.
Mm-hmm.
In probably in Georgia, North Dakota, and Florida, I met them. I
Yeah.
met these people.
They're
Uh,
real.
they exist, and yeah, like you said, they kind of like stroll in onto the stage, and through either conversation, some subtle actions, some callbacks, you get a story of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they exit stage pursued by bear, and then it's that. It's also a great film full of gore,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a fun gore. Like it is still a lot. It is a lot, right?
Yeah.
But again, the fact that it is a cocaine bear, and it's so absurd and silly. I think it really is one of those films where we can not react in the same way that we would at, say, like torture porn films like Saw.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I
I
had
wasn't
none of
grossed out like ever.
exactly. No, I had none of the reactions. I like at no point did I cover my eyes because it was like even the music that they played like during it, and like the way that they framed it was just like one, you did believe that like someone could die that way, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
but you also didn't believe that the person you were watching just then was dying that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
So like it felt like comedic enough that I wasn't like, oh god, oh no, the world, like I can't watch this. Like my empathy kind of didn't kick in the same way it does during like humans are doing this to each other, or like a Saw movie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Or even other bears eating people movies, you know?
Yeah, we saw that. That was scary. I covered my eyes for the other bear eating people.
Yeah.
This bear was fine.
It was okay. Yeah, it's so in the stories, like Kat was saying, we have drug smugglers on a plane that are dumping their cocaine, and through hijinks, it ends up in this forest. And through further hijinks, the cocaine ends up in the hands and paws of several characters, in the snouts of several characters, and noses of several characters. And we have a plethora of absolutely characters. Like, that's the best description of them. They are all characters. We have a mom of a young girl who wants to paint the waterfall, so she, skips school and takes time to go to this nature reserve with her, friend, and they're like preteens, young. I'd say like 12, 11, 12.
Yeah, no, they're little kids, but like with the middle school spunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like old enough that they absolutely could be walking around, but young enough that they should have an adult. And so they're out, and they're very cute little characters themselves. Their understanding of the world, and the little boy is the same actor from Sweet Tooth. He's so cute. What a cute little
Oh,
boy.
yeah, he was super cute. He did a good job.
He has some funny lines, like when because they find the cocaine and they do try it, though very minimally, thank God, because they are still children. But he has a fun callback later where it's just like, am I gonna be addicted to this for the rest of my life? Trying to be really like subtle about it in a kid way.
Yeah,
Um,
he's like, does this, for the bear, have any long-term life consequences? And the mom's like, you did cocaine. But she doesn't say that. And she's like, I'm sure the bear will be fine as long as the bear never does it again.
it's like, yeah, I don't think the bear's ever gonna want to do that again. They don't like it. Then you have what Kat is dressed as, which is the ranger, who is my favorite character, and she's a hoot. She's so funny and just bizarre. Trying to get a date, both very into like preserving and protecting nature, but also not entirely knowing what that means.
Yeah.
And what words mean, which is really fun. Um,
Yeah.
and being kind of wild too. Like, there's a lot of references to like rangers can have guns, like we could shoot people. We're not security
Yeah.
guards. Like, we're our own world of like enforcement.
Yeah.
And then there's like a group of young teens who are, I guess, like maybe young adults, older teens. The
They
like
were
weird,
adults dressed as teens,
sure, for
said to
sure.
be teens.
Yeah,
But like we're very much at no point in recent years teens.
for sure. But
Um,
their characters were teens, and they were like podunk droogs, right? Like, they were supposed to be this like wild group of young people who are like terrorizing the people in the park, which is like a really funny
yeah,
thing to have happening. Is like you're in a natural park and you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna terrorize you in some way. But they were also pretty sweet. Like, they were just like they didn't know what they were doing, and that was kind of endearing.
yeah,
And uh, yeah, but everyone was very humanized except for like who ends up being the real villain, which is surprisingly not Cocaine Bear. Then you have a man whose son, he like is having issues kind of relating to his son. He lost his wife, or the mother of his child, and he's friends with
mm-hmm,
a drug dealer, and we learn through the story that he is the son of a drug dealer, like a drug
mm-hmm,
kingpin almost, kind of. And
yeah,
there's some disappointment because he doesn't want anything to do with the family business, and
yeah.
that,
He's not trying to be a drug kingpin himself.
yeah, which is putting a lot of strain on all kinds of relationships. He's even blaming, his father for the death of his wife, even though she died of cancer. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
stress. You stress her out, and
Yeah,
she got cancer. That's how it works. So it's like, that's pretty funny. And then you have, and I'm not missing anyone else. Cocaine Bear, and which is just a mom. Oh, there. Oh, I missed the cops. There's a cop.
yeah. There's a cop storyline that has dogs, and are like you you're not rooting for them really,
No.
but you're also like I don't want horrible things to happen to them because they're like just regular guys.
Yeah. We have two cops, they're partners, and the one cop is investigating this drug ring, and he recently got a dog. And it's not the dog
Mhm.
that he wanted, but he does like this dog. And he
Mhm.
entrusts his new partner, a young woman, to take care of that dog. And she
Yeah.
comes back later and turns out ACAB, especially them.
Yeah.
Well, especially her. He was trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cocaine Bear, and turns out she's got babies. So there's cocaine
Cocaine
cubs
babies.
as
Little
well.
babies.
Yes.
I have one here.
Kind of look like you just grabbed your own boob.
They're in my pocket.
Has bears in her
It's not
breast pockets as her
inappropriate.
ranger outfit, and it's
Yeah.
very funny if you're not watching.
For anyone on YouTube, you'll see.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, the story is what it is, right? It's all of these very colorful characters find themselves in the woods. Unfortunately, at the same time, there is a bear full of cocaine on the loose who wants
Yeah.
more cocaine.
Yeah, that's like its main
Wants it.
motivation. It's like cocaine is addictive. Did you know? The bear will tell you. That's all it wants. It will literally stop murdering to get some cocaine. Like it really is about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's even like bringing it back to its kids
Yeah.
for like food. You know what I mean? They're like,
Like, I'm having a lot of fun.
this makes me thrilled. So you're gonna love it.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't
Here
wait
you
for
go, baby bears.
And the babies are like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Seriously.
It made me really want to watch Brother Bear.
Oh
It's
my
like they're
goodness.
so cute. Little bears are so cute. You can like
Mhm.
it is a trick. It is a trick. Um anyway, we have this story where it's kind of like a mix of people trying to survive Cocaine Bear. Most
Mhm.
of them not surviving. There's also like
Yeah.
other rangers or people. There's paramedics that show up for a minute. There's the
Yeah.
tourist folks at the beginning. All these people suffer at the hands of the Cocaine Bear. It's silly, but we also learn some things. There's a lot of repeating of the phrase, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. And I was like, is
Yeah.
that true? Because they kept saying it. So we did look it up. But what I found it really interesting is at the end of the story, right? You would think with a film called Cocaine Bear, where this bear has been murdering everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's still sympathy for this bear. Like everyone still like has mad respect for this bear. They're like, we get it.
Yeah. It's
Like,
not the bear's fault.
yeah, like absolutely. We just need to get out of your way. Like
Yeah.
you're having a moment. We want you to have that. That's good for you. We just should
Yeah.
leave. Um,
Yeah. We don't want to be here for it, but like we're just gonna let you keep doing. And also like sorry that that's happening.
yeah, I'm
Because
really sorry.
obviously bears at no point in existence were meant to be doing cocaine.
No, arguably
Um,
people also at no point
yeah.
were meant to be doing that either.
Yeah.
But
So as you
especially
said, like
bears.
there's sympathy and respect for the bear because it's not their fault
Yeah.
that they're all coked up and like running around like extra energy, just apex predator ain't it
Yeah.
about like that's not their problem or like their issue. Like
Yeah.
it's not something that you should be mad at the bear for.
Yeah, it's like the only time like a slasher film where you're like, no, no, I get it, I get this villain. They're totally right, and it because she's not the villain. Instead, really, ultimately, I think the villain in the end was the drug dealer, the drug kingpin, who's apparently not at the top of the rungs, and will be in trouble if he doesn't get this cocaine back. But it's all gone. It's inside of this bear.
Yeah, like what do you mean, sir? Like where are we gonna get the cocaine back from? Like most of it either exploded with the plane or it's in the bear.
Exactly. Exactly. And the that drug dealer is played by Ray Liotta.
Oh, funny. I didn't realize. He
Yeah.
looked familiar. I didn't know
Which
why.
I was like, I'm sure my mom would love that. She loves um Goodfellas. I
Oh.
totally blanked out right there. I was like, what the hell?
You got there, but
Who
you got back.
passed
It's fine.
away last year. So there is a little note at the end of the film that's just like in memory of him, which I think was nice, considering he was the villain of this film.
Yeah.
He gets people to put their lives on the line to continue to pursue this bear instead of just like exiting the situation, which is what we all should do.
Yeah. And
Just
in this
like, so-
situation, it's also like his kid in this situation, like who,
Yeah.
like, and then to go here, he left like his kid's son, who's like young,
Mm-hmm.
at home, and that's like a whole other commentary that they have, like when they're going, they're like, what do you mean he's just sitting there by himself and all, like you left him all by himself.
Yeah.
And he was like young, you don't leave baby
Yeah. And it's
by
also like
himself.
he also threatens the life of the the family too. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't get this, those bad people are gonna come after me, and they're gonna come after what I care about, which presumably would be his family.
Yeah.
Although it from his actions does not appear that that is the case. And so I just think it was really fun that everyone was like on the side of the bear,
Yeah.
and even like as things were like, you feel for the bear, you want this bear to win, you're just like, let everyone go, like let all the moms live,
Yeah.
and let's go. And the
Yeah.
dad too, like let them live, and let this guy who's the real villain, drug dealer, go away.
And
Um,
spoilers. He does.
he
And that's
does.
great.
Yeah, we victory for Cocaine Bear is true. She lives, and she lives to cocaine another day with her babies.
And there was one point where like it seemed like they might not, and I remember like both of us being like, "Oh no, not Cocaine Bear! Justice for Cocaine Bear!" Like, and I think that,
Yeah.
as you said, like the if that was like Elizabeth Banks' like goal, like she did a good job with that, because by the middle of it, like you're really sympathizing for Cocaine Bear. You're really wanting Cocaine Bear to win. You wanted to not eat any more people, but like
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want anything bad to happen to Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
This little guy is just doing stuff, you know.
Yeah. I think it's very rare for the ghouls to have a film in which somebody was murdering viciously people for an entire film, and for the end of it for us to be still like hoping that they live.
Yeah, that's super
Doesn't
fair.
really happen.
No.
um
Well,
Ever.
this villain was just so stinking cute. So
Yes, I'm telling you. Yeah. So that's the gist of Cocaine Bear. It's that drugs are bad.
don't do
We
drugs,
should
kids.
don't do drugs. We should really hope and pray that bears never get a hold of them, because they'll die, but also because maybe they won't, and then we'll die.
Yeah.
Also, learn that regardless of cocaine in the situation,
What do
if
you
you
do if
encounter
bear?
bear,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be there anymore. And
Yeah.
what, like, don't run, but you should be making, yourself away. You should be taking yourself away from this situation to
Yeah.
safety, because it is a bit like, just respect nature and understand that this is their land. We're just also here. You cannot take on a bear, I promise you. I
Yeah.
promise
Like
whoever you are.
until we get to the point of technology where our phones and our cameras are literally in our eyeballs, like we don't need to stop and take pictures of the bear, you know?
No, no.
Like we need to say, "Oh, I see a bear. Let's slowly walk away before it notices us because I really don't want this bear to see me."
Yeah, it's just a nice little, like, take it with your brain, and then you turn around, you leave. Or
Yeah.
maybe don't turn around,
Save
maybe
it in
you
your
back up.
memory, draw it when you get home, you
Maybe
know?
keep your eye on the bear.
Yeah, but like
Back up
back
and leave.
away from it.
Yeah,
Don't make a
but leave.
sound, but leave.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Kat, what do we do if
yeah.
we see a bear? Like, what happens? What should we do? And
So,
is the, if it's black, do this. If it's brown, do that.
yeah.
Phrase work.
Okay, so Gabe was wonderful and found an article called What to Know About Staying Safe Around Bears from WebMD. So the whole thing is if a bear has noticed you and is paying attention to you, do the following to de-escalate the situation. 1. Do not run away, since this can make the bear think you're prey and also just make it unhappy. Stay calm. Animals can sense fear and also your blood pressure. So like you need to relax as much as you can. Stay calm. Gather your
Mm-hmm.
group to, and that's also it's like if they feel threatened, that'll only further put you in danger. Um, Gather your group together and pick up any small children as 3. 4, talk to the bear calmly so it knows you're human and also that you got good vibes. Um, 5, back away slowly, as Gabe said, with your eyes on the bear. Back away.
Mm-hmm.
6, if the bear starts to approach you, make yourself as big as possible. So, like,
Heads up.
by stretching out your arms over your head and make loud noises. So
Wow.
like,
Like, you don't want to mess with this.
yeah,
I'm also big.
I am a human, but also don't mess with me.
Yeah, you don't know. I'm just another animal, dude.
But also,
I'm
I'm
another
not
animal.
prey, and also I'm not gonna hurt your babies. But like, back it up.
Yeah. Well, I respect you. You respect me. You know,
Yeah.
this is mutual.
The last one is keep your bear spray on you and know how to use it. I do not have bear spray, nor do I know how to use it, so that's something I'm gonna have to look up.
See,
But
so the answer to that is don't go to the woods, Kat.
that's fair. I already wasn't gonna, so that's positive.
Yeah. The
But
only thing I ever
what? Go
the
ahead.
only thing I ever knew about bears, like when you're camping, was I'm sure someone had bear spray, but I always knew that like you'd have to put your what is it called? Where you put the food?
Food
I stressed.
away in a cooler.
Cooler, thank you. You would put your cooler, you'd have to tie it up in a tree.
Yeah.
Like bears could, I guess, climb trees, but you put it up in the tree because then they're less likely to get up there because they're gonna eat your food. I was always like, it was never like, oh my god, bears are gonna eat me. It was like the bears are gonna eat my food.
And then I want food now.
Like that sucks, man. I don't want that. Again, because they just like their friend, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, this is not the correct thing. Do not take this advice. But I see the food as an offering to the bear. You're saying, hey, buddy, thanks for not eating
Don't
me.
eat me.
Here's some food
Eat
for
this.
you.
Here's some hot dogs.
But
Here's
I know
some
that's
honey.
not the correct thing. Don't do that. It's just that's where my
basket.
brain goes when I think of bear. And then the last little piece of advice it gives you is if a bear charges towards you, use the bear spray to deter it. And then it kind of goes into like the bear attack and the bear rhyme that Gabe said. So although the bear safety rhyme is if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. Sounds like good advice. You have to know why the bear is attacking you before you can decide the best way to respond. So essentially, it's like sense the vibes of the bear.
Yeah.
You gotta
What are you trying? What do you want from this?
Yeah.
Do you want to hurt me?
What's your
Or
intention?
do you want me
bear?
to just back up?
Yeah, like sense the vibes. As a neurospicy human that can't sense people vibes, I don't really trust myself to sense bear vibes. But you know,
again, we're back at that message of cat don't go into the woods.
Yeah, I should just not go there. So essentially, this is why a bear might charge at you. There are two reasons. Bluff charging, which is like what black and brown bears will do. They will bluff charge you because they're just like trying to show that they're the toughest bear in town. So a bluff
like a feign?
charge, yeah, it's a feign.
What?
So like
What?
bluff charges are the most common types of charges. A bear will bluff charge when it's trying to scare or intimidate you. Exactly. So it's like, hey, get out of my space.
And I'm
its
like,
head and
absolutely,
ears-
dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Say
got
less.
it, friend.
Say less, man.
I'm
Say
really
less.
trying to not be here too, but we both are. I
You're
don't really
right,
know what to
you're
do
right.
about it. This is
I
how I
should
felt
not
when we
be
went to the
here.
the Poconos, for. I can't fucking talk. When we went to the Poconos for your wedding, I was like, I don't belong. This is danger.
Yeah.
But we saw no bears, so it was really
we
chill.
didn't. We weren't really that far in
Yeah.
the woods at all. There was like a Walgreens down the street. But I get it.
We're good. So essentially, if a bear is charging you, it's just trying to show it's tough. So it'll essentially have its head and ears will be facing forward, and it'll be up and like trying to make itself look bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it will move in big bounding leaps towards you, but will
No.
stop. I know it's like don't run. It's like if I saw a bear taking
No.
large bounds towards me, I am absolutely running. It's gonna eat me. It's fine. I shouldn't have been here in the first place.
I am not. The fact that these characters were able to remember that rhyme in the midst of this,
It was
like,
terror.
I would just be like,
Yeah.
I would forget. Like it would be like, noise in my brain.
Yeah.
It's just panic.
I would be like a possum and just play dead. Like that's where I would go. But
Just immediately crumple to the ground. Like,
yeah, what else is there to do? There is other stuff to do. This is the list
there
that's
is- there
telling
is.
you.
Listen to us. Listen
Yeah.
to us. Not this. Not what we just said. Listen
Yeah.
to the rules.
So it will move in big bounding leaps towards you. But will stop short or veer off at the last minute. So you're playing chicken with the bear.
You really just have to hope that it's a bluff.
Yeah, because if it's not, you're getting eaten. But okay, it may make loud noises afterwards, which is great. I love that for the bear. If you think a bluff charge is about to happen, make yourself big, wave your arms, and talk calmly to the bear, which I think like kind of counterintuitive, like those kind of contradict each other.
Hey,
But that's what the
calm
list
down.
says.
Hey,
Hey,
let's talk about
hey,
this. Let's use our words.
why don't we not? You know?
Could you, well, slow down, buddy. Slow down.
Slow down, friend. So you do that, and when the bear starts charging, you have to stand your ground and stay calm, which I'm not doing, which is why I'm dead.
I'm going up a tree.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they could be up there. I'm going so fast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to climb a tree and then die. It's fine.
Yeah. No.
So when the bear finishes charging, back away slowly while talking to the bear calmly still. You want to let it know that you're a people. You know, you want to let it know you're human. You're not prey. You can talk to him, or you can communicate with the bear in some way. And
Hands
you're
up,
a human.
don't charge. Hands up, don't charge.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, I get it. You're really cute looking, but that's just for show. And you were right. This is your space.
I should not.
I'm
gonna
take myself away from here.
You're so right, friend.
This is on me, really. Honestly, this is on me. It's my bad. I'm gonna. Head right out.
It says this is really important. It says never run away when a bear is bluff charging you, since that might trigger an attack. So turn off all of your natural instincts and do not run.
Yeah, if you know in a flight situation you're a flighter,
yeah,
you can't go to the woods.
Yeah, I'm a freezer. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna just be Bambi and die. And I mean, honestly, maybe then I don't die because I stand still. But I'm not doing anything. I'm standing there and just watching in slow motion as this bear murders me.
I'm fairly certain I'm a flight and a fight.
Yeah.
Person, so it'd be pretty rough.
I'm like,
I gotta go. My brain's like, we need to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to.
Well. In the fight instance, it says you should be prepared to defend yourself in case it's an attack instead of a bluff and the bear turns aggressive. So, like, there's also a chance. I don't know what the percentage is, but as that bear is bounding towards you, that it could become an attack.
Yeah. Well, I guess because the answer is, regardless of if the charging is for a bluff or an attack, running away is not the right answer.
Yes.
So it's like you do kind of have to assess the situation for a minute. So as it's bounding, you just have to be like, are you gonna stop there? What? Are you stopping there?
Make eye contact
hands up,
with
hands
the bear.
Up. You stopping? Stop. Start.
Yeah. So essentially, if it gets close enough to you that it's not gonna turn away, that's when you have to literally fight a bear. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Tell me
about it.
The second kind of charging is aggressive charging. This is real straightforward. The bear is attacking. The bear is aggressively charging and is very dangerous. Signs of an impending aggressive charge include pounding front paws on the ground, huffing, yawning or clacking their teeth, head down and ears pointed back. So in a bluff, as I said, the ears are facing towards you. They're looking at you, like they're looking at you in your eyes to see what you're going to do.
They're trying to see.
Yeah, they're trying to suss you out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this one, they're like, I'm coming. Get ready. Get ready. We about to go. We're taking it outside. That's what this is.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, now I see the difference between them because like it's like they're just trying to look big and like tough when they're bluff charging. They're like very clearly like, I'm gonna eat you when they're aggressive charging because they're like stomping on the ground and like getting all mad, and they're not looking at you in the eyes. They can't face you as they know they're going to murder you. So that's how you know the bear is sus. Yeah. It's running straight at you full speed. It's not going to veer. So if you see signs of this kind of attack, prepare to defend yourself. I don't know what that looks like, but you're going to do it. This is where the bear's safety rhyme has some merit, apparently. So if a black bear attacks you, you're supposed to fight back. Do not play dead. Punch and kick at the bear's face. Use weapons such as rocks, sticks, or bear spray.
Try to fuck it up.
If a brown bear attacks you, play dead. Don't fight back since this will make the attack worse. Cover your head with your hands and leave your backpack on to protect yourself. Lie down flat on your stomach with your legs outspread to protect your head. As difficult as it may be, try not to make noise and be as still as possible. You want to convince the bear you are not a threat to it or its cubs.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Black bears have some brown on them.
I know.
How do I know which one is which?
You don't. You don't.
They look different, right? Grizzly bear. Which ones are grizzly bears? Are those brown or black?
I think they're. That's such a good question.
Grizzlies may range in color from black to blonde.
But they're like more brown.
Yeah, black bears can be black, blue black, dark brown, brown, cinnamon, and even white.
How do you know then? There's no rules. Okay, the bears are gonna do what the bears are gonna do. You're gonna sense it. You're gonna
Grizzly
feel what the
bears
bear
are
is doing.
bigger than black bears. But
Okay.
it does say size is not a good indicator of which species is which.
Yeah, you really just have to guess. And if it's, as I said, if it's a brown bear, play dead. If it's a black bear, fight back. So as the rhyme says, follow it.
It looks like black bears are pretty black. And
Yeah.
brown bears are big and very brown and fuzzy.
Essentially, if a bear continues to attack you, you may not have a choice but to fight back. And if you have to fight as hard as you can, obviously, with any weapons you can find. So essentially, like, obviously, if a bear is attacking you and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop no matter what you do, fight the bear. Because otherwise you're just going to die. And
that doesn't sound too bad, to be honest. Just take me out. Like, I might, like, instead of fighting, I might just try to take me out faster so I don't have to die by bear.
It's fair. I'm going to go out on my own terms against bear, right?
I'm not getting mauled to death. I'm not doing that. I saw Annihilation, okay? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going out my own way. We'll figure it out. Where's the cocaine? Because I'm going to.
I'm going to be able to fight the bear if I had my cocaine. Yep,
I'm going to run really fast.
Yeah. I'm dead anyway. I have asthma. Like, I would try to run and just, like, be done. Or my knee would dislocate. Oh my god, it would just be a mess. But there's one other kind of bear that it tells you about. So it says, unlike brown bears and black bears, polar bears very rarely bluff charge. If a polar bear is charging you, be ready to defend yourself and fight it. Like, polar bears don't play. They can also smell you from, like, miles away. Like, them smelling, and they're hungry. Like, they're their environment is depleted of resources.
Yeah.
And they not had meals.
They have a grudge.
Yeah.
They got a grudge. Okay, we have destroyed their habitat. Their vengeance is happening.
They're the vengeance bear.
You know what? You're right. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. I get it. Yeah. And it's another one where they look really cute. They got the Coca-Cola commercials, right?
Yeah.
No. Terrifying, because that's the one that said if it's white, good night. It was literally just like it's it. Because if you see a polar bear, it has already seen you. Yeah. You are already dead. Like the other ones, you might be able to like creep away.
Yeah.
Like
a polar bear doesn't stumble upon you. It has been hunting you for hours.
It knows. Yeah. And if you were seeing a polar bear,
it's too late.
It wants you to see this polar bear.
Yeah.
It wants you to see them.
It's letting you know that this is your final minutes to get your last words in. Like it's happening.
What are you gonna use to hit them?
It says to try to defend yourself and fight with any weapons or things you can. Specifically trying to hit sensitive areas such as face, eyes, and nose. But also, like, they're an endangered species, so if you want to help save the planet, just let the bear win.
Yeah.
In that instance.
Honestly, we have a lot of you. We don't have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a lot of you. They're running out. Absolutely. Yeah, I think the nose thing, because that's what they say about sharks, too. You punch a shark in the nose.
Yeah.
You boop them in the nose.
But, like, hard. Like, not like, aw, kitty. Boop. No, you punch the shark in the nose. Similarly.
You whop them in the nose in an attempt to get away fast enough.
And you're not going to outrun a polar bear. Like, you are dead if you see a polar bear. Like, I don't even know what they mean by, like, fight back. Unless it is very hurt already, it's going to try to eat you. Like, there's no getting away from it. So.
I just want to say that your hat, so Kat is wearing this hat to look like a ranger, and it looks like, what was that, like Scary Movie 3, when they were making fun of signs, and the sheriff, her hat keeps getting bigger. Every time they show her scene, I'm going to put that up on the
Yeah.
video.
It's because I have
very large
headphones
hat.
on, and it's sitting on top of the headphones, so it looks very silly.
Yeah, it's very silly. It's a great costumes. As always, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Spotify if you're listening, or just check out like our Instagram to see what we look like because it's fun. We put some
dress up
effort
every time.
into what we look like because that's fun to do. And for the rest of this month, we're going to be talking about animals. And so let us know which animals you are either rationally or irrationally afraid of, because we will be covering animals that I'm afraid of and not other people are, but they should be. Uh, and we'll talk about things that maybe you shouldn't be afraid of. Or there are things you could be afraid of. Like, all animals are scary to some degree. They all have the potential for murder of some sort.
Yeah.
Or, like, causing your death in some way.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, before we had houses inside, we were always at threat of animal murder. Because that's just what it is to exist in a world. Species are going to try to take other species out. That's just, you need food.
Yeah.
So, unless you're a vegetarian, which
and
I don't
even
think
then
bears
you might
are.
Cause the death of somebody because
inadvertently,
yeah, absolutely. And we're not the smartest animals out there, okay?
Nope.
Like, there are some really smart animals. Orcas are incredibly intelligent.
Yeah, they're the water people.
Like, they're unionizing, okay? It's a it's a whole thing. So
there's 80%, or was it 60% of the ocean we don't even see? Like, there could be such smart animals down there. We just don't know because we can't go down there.
Let us know what you think about Cocaine Bear.
The weight of gravity.
We did see a trailer for Cocaine Shark. It was a very silly low budget film that someone made. It is not in relation to Cocaine Bear.
No,
it's not as great cinematography as Cocaine Bear. Honestly, really, I do highly recommend it just because it is a good time and you deserve it. You deserve a good time. You deserve a good laugh. It is very gory, so be aware of that. But just like definitely take off your media analysis glasses. There's nothing here. There's nothing here for you. It's just to have fun, and I think that's okay.
And it did a good job.
It's been a long year. You earned it. Yeah. You earned Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, when we're talking about like horror for mental health, like this is one of the, it's just silly. It's just like a fun time. You don't have to think for a minute, and that's like really nice. Yeah. In the chaos that is existence at all moments.
Yeah. Excellent.
I like the bear on the hat. I think that's what I should have done this whole time.
No, I think it's gonna fall off. So thank you, Elizabeth Banks, for this fun film, and stay tuned for the rest of this month and the fun films we have for you. And don't get married.
Delete your kids, or your kids will find cocaine in a national forest and then be attacked by a bear that has also done cocaine.
Maybe your kids are bears.
They've been bears this whole time.
They've been bears. Know it. And you're also a bear. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Cocaine Bear, are you listening to this right now? All right.